Welcome from the Port of New Orleans. Thanks for joining us today for a Port 101 presentation. Throughout today's presentation, you'll learn more about the Port's 4 lines of business and our operations.
Some folks say that the little things in life can affect your happiness in a major way. It may be your morning cup of coffee, your favorite chair, or a dusty Saturday full of fun. But who's responsible for these little jewels of happiness? Who wakes up every morning with a goal of delivering them to you with absolute perfection? Most often, we rely on local vendors with local employees for our items. While we certainly make them our own, many of our precious items are born elsewhere. We traced back only a few of our cherished items, and they all seem to have one thing in common. They all pass through the gates of your Port of New Orleans. This is no surprise. Our port is internationally recognized as a gateway for global trade. Having that title takes knowledge and experience, sweat and hard work, efficiency and skill, technology and teamwork, good old-fashioned drive. True to our New Orleans roots, we not only work hard, we play hard too. The port is home to Mardi Gras World and a thriving cruise industry, hosting more than 1 million cruise passengers a year. Those passengers dine in our restaurants and stay in our hotels, spending their money in our local economy. It's all about location, and New Orleans' unique geographic advantages are unparalleled. Served by 6 Class 1 railroads, 14,500 miles of inland navigable waterways, 75 trucking lines, and more than 50 ocean carriers, serving every corner of the world. As we've proven time and time again, why we're America's most intermodal port. On top of that, we're investing hundreds of millions of dollars into our infrastructure to prepare for the future and retain a place atop the world's greatest seaports, all while not forgetting our community. We support the continued beautification of New Orleans. Best of all, we're doing this 100% self-sustained, collecting no tax revenue from citizens. We love Southern Louisiana and our mighty Mississippi, and we're committed to keeping her clean and beautiful. So we're part of the Green Marine Initiative, which implements standards to keep waste and chemicals out of our waterways. So the next time you get a little slice of happiness, know you're part of something much bigger. Has been and always will be your Port of New Orleans.
Here at Port NOLA, our mission is to drive regional economic prosperity by maximizing the flow of international trade and commerce. Something that a lot of people don't know about the Port of New Orleans is that we have a 3-parish jurisdiction, which includes Jefferson, Orleans, and St. Bernard parishes, as shown on the map. Jefferson Parish is in purple, Orleans is in teal, and St. Bernard is in gold. Within these 3 parishes, our jurisdiction encompasses a total of 34 miles. While our jurisdiction is large, it's important to note that the Port of New Orleans does not collect taxes. Our revenue is self-generated and reinvested into port infrastructure.
The Port of New Orleans is considered a diverse, multi-purpose landlord port. What that means is that Port NOLA has 4 diverse lines of business and is also considered a landlord, meaning that we have different tenants that lease our real estate and infrastructure from us and then go and run their own operations. Port NOLA's first line of business is cargo. Cargo makes up about 46% of the port's total annual revenue. In the top left corner, you can see a depiction of our containerized cargo business. Containerized cargo is cargo that is moved in these shipping containers that you see on the trucks. Containerized cargo is very versatile because containers can be moved by rail, river, and road. On the bottom picture, you can see breakbulk cargo. In its most simple form, breakbulk cargo is cargo that is not moved within a shipping container. Port NOLA's second line of business is rail. In 2018, the Port of New Orleans acquired the New Orleans Public Belt Railroad. In 2020, the New Orleans Public Belt became an independent political subdivision of the state of Louisiana and remains a strategic partner for the Port of New Orleans. The New Orleans Public Belt brings in about 31% total annual revenue for the Port of New Orleans. The port's third line of business is industrial real estate. As a landlord port, the port does own over 1,000 acres of industrial real estate available for lease to different tenants. And the port's fourth line of business is cruise. The port is the nation's sixth largest cruise port. Prior to COVID-19, the Port NOLA had 1.2 million cruise passengers in 2019. Here you can see our import and export commodity mix. Our imports are primarily comprised of steel, coffee, furniture, rubber, and more. Our containerized exports are growing. Plastic resins continue to be our number one export, and that is driven by the petrochemical industry boom in Louisiana. Frozen poultry is another one of our strong anchor exports.
So in reference to the last slide where we looked at the different types of commodities or items that are being moved in and out of the Port of New Orleans, this slide shows you examples of household everyday items that we might interact with that are made from those different types of commodities. So for example, poultry is one of our top exports. That equals 660 million chicken pot pies a year. Steel is a top import for us. That makes 1.65 million cars a year, and so forth. So you can see the plastic resins becoming credit cards, rubber becoming tires, and coffee becoming 20 billion cups of coffee. So when you think about it, all of the items that are moving in and out of the Port of New Orleans at some point will become something that you will interact with on a daily basis.
As mentioned earlier, the Port of New Orleans has 4 lines of business, with one of those lines of business being rail, with the New Orleans Public Belt Railroad. The New Orleans Public Belt is a Class 3 switching railroad with the primary mission of serving the Port of New Orleans and local industries. NOPB is a neutral carrier with direct connections to 6 Class 1 railroads and is instrumental in expediting our local and immediate freight through the strategic New Orleans Gateway. NOPB has a locomotive shop, a track maintenance and repair division, and rail car storage capabilities. The Port of New Orleans is the only deepwater port in the country with access to 6 Class 1 railroads via the New Orleans Public Belt connectivity. One of the things that differentiates the Port of New Orleans from other ports is the Mississippi River system. The Mississippi River connects us to our nation's heartland with over 14,500 miles of inland navigable waterway and also connects us to 34 states. The Port of New Orleans is the nation's 6th largest cruise port. Our cruise business reinforces the tourism industry as well as small and medium-sized local businesses. Prior to COVID-19, the Port of New Orleans saw 1.2 million passenger movements, and 90% of those cruise guests traveled from out of state, with 73% spending a day or 2 days in New Orleans either before or after their cruise. Cruise passengers who depart from New Orleans enjoy 2 vacations in one, which is demonstrated through the generation of over 300,000 room nights into the New Orleans area hotels. Many cruise lines have direct partnerships with top hotel chains. Approximately 32% of cruise passengers fly through the Louis Armstrong Airport, which helps drive demand for new direct air services. Additionally, 98% of our calls are home ports, meaning even greater economic impacts beyond just passenger spending. These ships take on provisions, fueling, maintenance, and business services from local businesses. Prior to COVID-19, for 5 years in a row, Port NOLA handled more than 1 million cruise passenger movements, with a record of 1.2 million cruise passenger movements in 2019, thanks in part to newer and larger ships home porting in New Orleans. A huge asset to the local cruise industry is the idea of 2 vacations in one, a visit to New Orleans and a cruise. We look forward to welcoming our cruise industry back when it is safe to do so. Port NOLA's mission is to maximize regional economic prosperity through maritime commerce. While it's important to learn about Port NOLA's 4 lines of business, it's equally as important to learn about our economic impact and jobs that stem from the work that we do. Port activity in our 3-parish jurisdiction of Jefferson, Orleans, and St. Bernard parishes generate a total of over 19,000 jobs and $3.9 billion of output. These businesses and their employees provide a significant tax base to our parishes and the state through sales, property, and payroll tax. These are jobs that stem from Port NOLA, our tenants, and industry partners. And the average salary of these Port NOLA tenant employees is $74,000 a year, which is 51% higher than the local average. These are family-supporting jobs ranging from skilled laborer to executive, welders to engineers, and longshoremen to warehouse workers, among many other positions. Maritime careers are family-supporting careers with jobs for all types of educational backgrounds. This slide shows you a sampling of the different kinds of careers available locally and nationally through the maritime industry. The Port of New Orleans is committed to smart growth to make a positive impact on our community and our environment. Our Sustainable Development Team leads our environmental initiatives, such as our Green Marine, Green Port certification, which the Port has held since 2015, and our Clean Trip program, which is a cost-sharing program that enables truck owners who service the Port to replace their older model trucks with newer, cleaner models. Here at the Port of New Orleans, our connections run deep. We're connected to global markets as a vital link in the supply chain. We're connected to the economy as a job creator and revenue generator. And we're connected to the community as a neighbor and resource for over 120 years. Thank you for joining us today for this Port 101 presentation. Feel free to check us out on social media and learn more on our website at portnola.com.